Hello my bookish besties and welcome back to my channel. My name is Adrienne. I like to read a little bit but yap quite a lot of it. Today we are going to be doing our August TBR, which is actually crazy to think. We are already on month 8 of doing our TBR jar videos, but I do have to be honest. I know I've said this like pretty much every single month this year so far, but I have not done a great job with this month's TBR. I think in July I made a really ambitious TBR, forgetting about all the things we had lined up. I did start a office renovation project, which if you see stuff on the floor behind me, ignore that, that's part of it. We also were out of town quite a long time in July, and then I had a super crazy busy month with work. So I did start Rhythm of War, but I really think that might be the only book from the official TBR that I read, which is crazy because I was super excited about July's TBR. Like, we had some absolute bangers on there, to be honest. But anywho, it is a new month. We're gonna have a fresh start. I actually started earlier today a reading vlog for the first time in like 2 months, which is absolutely crazy. So be on the lookout for that. That is not going to be part of the TBR though. What is going to be part of the TBR though is whatever the freaking TBR jar says. So let's go ahead and pull our first prompt. Some things I kind of want to keep in mind for this TBR is I do want to continue utilizing my Kindle Unlimited subscription. I started a subscription back in June, I want to say, to read Lightwielder, and I'm still in the 3-month trial period, which I think ends in August. So I would love to use at least one more book or two to kind of, you know, figure out, is this subscription worth it for me? I am also technically in the middle of Valor. This is book 2 in the Faithful and the Fallen quartet, I guess you'd call it. I am about 20% through this book, so it's like kind of on my mental radar. And then also my book club in August, I think it's in August, we're going to be meeting over The Shampoo Effect. So this is also kind of on my mental radar, which if I can get it in a prompt, that would be fantastic, but we'll just have to see what we draw. Another thing that's like kind of on my radar is I do really need to catch up in Crescent City before the new ACOTAR that releases in like 80 days or something like that. I kind of also want to read Summer's Never Over because to me August is a fall month, so I need to get on that. But I think those are kind of all the books that are on my radar right now. I obviously still need to read Rhythm of War, which I am in the middle of. I feel like, oh, and I also have another book club book for August, but anywho, let's just pull our first prompt and see what happens. Read a book you got only because of the hype. Interesting. Which book should I pick? Okay, I don't want kisses. You just ate your dinner. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want kisses. Can you sit down? Oh, that's such a good girl. That's such a good girl. Okay, let's pick a book that we got only because of the hype. To be honest, one that does come to mind is Main Characters. But I didn't get it only because of the hype. I got it because, like, to me, the premise sounds interesting, and I will be super honest. I have major regrets that I didn't get it in June or July, when it was a book of the month pick. I was like, oh, I don't know, and I was kind of hesitating because no one was talking about it. Now it's blown up, so I'm like, damn, I should have just listened to my instincts. But that one does come to mind. There's also Starside. Again, I kind of picked this out because I was interested in it, but it is a super hyped book right now. Again, another one that comes to mind is my Sarah DeMoss here. I pretty much only bought them because I feel like everyone said really good things about them. Okay, actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and put Daggermouth as the first book on the TBR. This is one of those books that like I had kind of heard about circulating, obviously, but then I got a little bit of FOMO and decided to go to a Books A Million and buy the little indie copy here. But this is now officially traditionally published. I believe I have it on my Kindle as well, and I obviously have this copy, and yeah, I'm excited to see what everyone's talking about with this one. I also have met H.M. Wolf. I think my little sticker, yep, my little signed sticker is still in here. So think the first book on the TBR is going to be Daggermouth by H.M. Wolf. Okay, let's pick a second prompt. So many prompts fall out of this jar. Random emoji generator. Interesting. Let me go get my phone, and then I'm just gonna, like, I guess Google an emoji generator. And then we'll pick a book based on the vibe of the emoji. Let me look. Okay. I'm just gonna Google emoji generator. My phone is literally at 1%, so we're gonna do this fast. I got a hamburger. Can you see that? Let's see if I have any books that somehow relate to a hamburger. Okay, the only book I can think of that's maybe even close at all is Jane and Dan at the End of the World. I picked this up from a little free library a couple of months ago. It's a book of the month copy. It is basically, I forgot how to get a bookmark in here. It's basically about this couple who are talking about getting a divorce, and one day they meet up at a diner to, like, discuss their potential divorce, and then, if I understand the premise right, the diner gets held hostage. And I guess it's very similar to the plot of her book, maybe? Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard anybody talk about this book, actually, to be honest, but I think this might be the only thing that relates to a hamburger emoji, so we're gonna give it a shot and put it on our August TBR. Okay, let's go ahead and pick out our third prompt. We'll do this orange one. Been on my shelf the longest. Oops, I forgot to take Caravel off. I did decide to return this series, or like unhaul it, because I do want to just read it on Kindle Unlimited if I decide to read it. But anywho, it's a little hard for me because I can't remember when I bought most of these. One that's coming to mind, though, that I know I've had for quite a while and still haven't gotten to, is Eleanor Ophelia is Completely Fine. My husband and I saw this in a clearance section of a half-price books probably 2 or 3 years ago, and I still haven't picked it up, but I recently saw Sarah Caroli read this and absolutely love it. So this one is high on my radar. Anyways, Curious Tides has also been here for a long time, but I don't know that I'm in the mood for a fantasy, and I would want to say these are from around the same time period of my life. I definitely want to pick this up at some point, and I do think August is a good, like, atmospheric time to read it. But with Valor and the Rhythm of War book already kind of being on my radar, and my fantasy book club being on my radar, I kind of think I want to go with Eleanor Ophelia. Is there anything else that's been on here a while? Bunny is like one of those that I've physically owned for only a short amount of time, but it has been on my mental TBR probably the longest out of, like, any book here. Okay, actually, I kind of lied. I do have this James Patterson book that, I'm not kidding, is from my childhood. Do we pick that? Okay, why Eleanor Ophelia is technically a really good choice. I fear I, like, have to read this one. I've been putting this off since I was, like, 12 years old. I will say, though, I don't think this one is the second book. I think this might be book 3. Yes, so book 2 is actually the Private School Murders. So while I'm holding this one, I'm going to be reading Confessions, the Private School Murders. The first book is basically about this girl, Tandy Angel, whose parents are kind of like these, like, rich socialites, and they die. And the only suspects are the family, because there is no signs of foul play. Like, nothing weird has happened. There's no forced entry, nothing. So we follow Tandy as she is trying to solve the murder of her parents while also proving herself and her siblings innocent. It is so cool. I love the way these are written. I actually wonder if the rest of these are written like this. The first one, at least, is written like Tandy is speaking to you. Like, there are little chapters that are kind of basically diary entries. It's her confessions, and I loved the formatting, so I'm really excited to actually continue this series. It is time for prompt 4, a book about books. These are my favorite kind of books. I actually might not currently own anything that's a book about books. I do have one of the books that I pulled earlier today for the reading vlog I was talking about that I guess I could use. I have How to Write a Love Story by Catherine Walsh on kind of my immediate TBR because I want to read some romances before July ends, but there's a chance I don't finish it before July ends, so it's like, could pick that. Let's look at Kindle real fast, see if maybe there's something on here. Oh my gosh, I've been sitting on my knees like to be a little taller and my foot is asleep and it hurts so bad. Anywho, I'm like low-key starting to think that books about books just don't exist because I have scrolled through almost my whole entire Kindle TBR and I'm not finding anything. So I do think I'm not going to grab it because it's over there, but I do think I'm going to add How to Write a Love Story by Catherine Walsh onto the official TBR if I finish it in July. Oh well. It is time to pick prompt 5. Let's do one of these yellow ones. We haven't gotten a yellow one yet today. A book you have on audio. Thank God. Because I love a book on audio. We do have to be fast though because like I said, my phone's at 1%. Let's quickly, very quickly scroll through my Audible app real quick, and then obviously I have stuff like Spotify, the library, etc. Ooh, I also have a credit available, so like realistically I could read whatever I want. Oh my god, it is loading so slow. It's like it knows I'm on a time crunch. Okay, the first one I'm seeing is I do have House of Sky and Breath on audio. Should we just add that? The only reason I'm hesitating is I have Rhythm of War, which is already like over 1,000 pages left to be read. And I'm like, do I add an 800-page Sarah J. Maas book as well? I think I do. Let's add House of Sky and Breath. It will be a good excuse to finally read it, I think. I am genuinely so scared. But it's okay. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. Okay, that means it is time for our 6th and final prompt. Let's try to get a color maybe we haven't done. Like this pink one. Or did I get a pink? I have not. Oh, a book of the month book. Amazing. Well, duh. Of course I'm going to pick Summer's Never Over because summer is not ending. Just kidding. I am so ready for fall, it's not even funny. But I do want to read this while it's still a little bit warm outside. So in fact, this might be one of the first books we pick up in August. Summer needs to be over. But that being said, we're going to add Summer's Never Over to the TBR. I ripped it. Oh well. But let's do a quick recap of our August. I almost said July. Babes, it is August. Let's do a quick recap of our August TBR. Like I mentioned, I am hopefully going to be reading The Tainted Cup and The Shampoo Effect for my 2 book clubs. And I am also currently in the middle of Rhythm of War and Valor and something else that hopefully we will also be reading in August. But as far as the prompts, first, read a book you only bought because of the hype. I'm adding Daggermouth by H.M. Wolf. A random emoji generator chose a hamburger, so we are going to be reading Jane and Dan at the End of the World. Next we have Has Been on My Shelf the Longest. Like I mentioned, that is not the Paris Mysteries. It is actually the School Murders or something like that. But we're going to be reading that one by James Patterson and Maxine Petro. And then we have a book about books. I'm going to read How to Write a Love Song. It is sitting over there by Catherine Walsh. And then we have a book I have on audio that would be House of Sky and Breath. This is the second Crescent City novel. I have not read a Crescent City novel in 2 years though, so wish me luck. And then last but not least, we chose a Book of the Month book. This is Summer's Never Over. It is like a summer camp murder mystery. But anywho, these are the books that I will hopefully be getting to in the month of August. Let me know down in the comments below what is on your August TBR, and let me know how you pick your monthly TBRs. I think in September I want to do something fun. It is my birthday month. I don't know that I want to do the jar. I'm debating between making up some sort of like fun game or maybe just picking books I want to read because I want to read them. But anywho, like I said, let me know down in the comments below what is on your August TBR, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.